So you're thinking about a PhD. That's a huge step. But you know, the biggest decision you're going to make probably isn't the university you choose. No, it's about the person who's going to be your guide for the next 5 years. Let's really dig into why that is.
To make this real, let's follow a couple of students. First, we've got Leo. He's smart, but he is completely drowning in the stress of just applying. He tells his friend Mia, who's a bit further along, "Mia, I'm just so overwhelmed. It feels like this giant, confusing maze of university rankings and deadlines. I seriously don't even know where to begin."
And Mia, she just nods. She gets it. She tells him, "Leo, I totally understand. It is a lot. But I think you might be aiming your stress at the wrong thing. The university's name is cool and all, but your supervisor, they are everything."
And here's where Mia just completely changes his perspective. She says, look, picture 2 different paths. On one, you get into a world-famous university, right? But your supervisor is a superstar who's never, ever around. You end up feeling alone and your work just stalls. Now picture path 2. You're at a good, solid university, but your mentor is totally invested in you. They're there. You're going to thrive. At the end of the day, that person shapes your daily life, your mental health, and your future career way more than a fancy logo on a diploma. You see, a supervisor isn't just some manager for your project. They wear so many different hats. They're the mentor who helps you grow from being a student into a real independent researcher. They're your connection to a whole professional world. And, like Mia points out to Leo, they're often your main support system when an experiment goes wrong or you're just feeling lost. They are absolutely central to your entire PhD experience. And you can just see the relief on Leo's face. Okay, he says, that actually makes sense. But, oh no, now I'm even more nervous. How do I even talk to these professors? What if I say the wrong thing? And Mia just smiles. Don't worry, she says. There's a strategy for that too. So Mia just breaks it down for him nice and simple. First, a really clear subject line, something like, prospective PhD student interested in your work on X. Then you just briefly introduce yourself. But here's the most important part. You have to show you've actually read their work. After that, you just give a little hint about your own idea. You ask if they're even accepting new students, and you attach your CV. Simple. But here is the golden rule, Mia tells him. You have to respect their time. Think about it. These professors get hundreds of emails. A short, focused email, under 300 words, that's way more likely to get a real reply than some long, rambling life story. And this is maybe the most powerful tip she gives him. She says, Leo, if you remember only one thing, let it be this. Mention a specific, recent paper of theirs. Don't just say their work is interesting. Explain why it's interesting to you, how it connects to your ideas. That's how you prove you're serious about them, and not just spamming 50 professors with the same email.
So a week goes by, and Leo is buzzing, but he's also terrified. He says, Mia, it actually worked. I've got a meeting, but now I have to go in and impress them. What if they think I'm not smart enough? And Mia just stops him right there. Whoa, hold on, Leo. You are thinking about this completely backwards. This isn't just their interview. It's yours too.
And this is such a game changer, right? The meeting isn't just for the professor to see if you're good enough for their lab. It is your chance, your opportunity to figure out if they are the right mentor for you. Is this somebody you can actually see yourself working with, day in and day out for 5 years?
Mia explains that, supervisors come in different flavors. You've got your hands-on types who give you a lot of structure and guidance. And then you have your hands-off types who expect you to be more independent. Neither style is better than the other, Mia says. But Leo, you have to be really honest with yourself. In which kind of environment will you do your best work? Do you need that structure, or do you need the freedom to figure things out on your own?
Okay, I get it, Leo says. But how do I figure out what their style is? What do I, actually ask them? Mia grins. Excellent question. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Mia lays out a few killer questions, and each one is designed to reveal something really important. She tells Leo, ask how often they meet with students. That tells you how available they are. Ask about their expectations for the first year. That sets a clear baseline. And these last two, they're powerful. Ask how they handle it when a project fails. And then ask where their old students are now. That tells you everything you need to know about their track record as a mentor. But listen, Leo, here's the real secret, Mia says. The question itself isn't nearly as important as how they answer it. You have to learn to listen for the green flags and the red flags. So she gives him an example. You could ask, where do students in your lab usually struggle?
A green flag answer is one that takes shared responsibility. See how they say we meet weekly to build that skill? That's a team. But a red flag, well, a red flag answer just blames the students. That suggests it's not going to be a very supportive place.
Or what about the meeting question? A great answer, a green flag, is one that promises structure and says that communication is a priority. But a red flag answer is super vague and reactive. That puts all the work on you, which means you might feel pretty alone when you actually need help. Now this might be the most important question of all, because in research, things will fail. It's just part of the process. A supervisor who sees failure as a team problem, something you solve together, that is a massive green flag. That means it's a safe place to take risks. But a supervisor who says it's your job to figure it out alone, that is a huge red flag for a very, very tough PhD.
And then, Mia gives Leo the ultimate insider tip. She says, after all of that, there is one last thing you have to do. You need to talk to the current students in the lab, and you need to do it without the supervisor around. They will give you the real, honest, unfiltered story of what it's really like.
Leo just takes a deep breath. Wow, Mia, I actually feel like I'm in control now. Not just, hoping someone will pick me. And Mia just smiles. Exactly, because it is your PhD. It is your choice. And this brings us to such a crucial takeaway. You could have the most exciting project in the world, but if it's in a toxic environment, you're just going to burn out. The real secret is that a good project in a supportive, collaborative environment, one that's shaped by a great supervisor, that's where you'll really grow. You're not just choosing a project, you're choosing an environment.
So as you start down this path, just remember, you're not just applying for a spot. You are choosing the first and maybe the most important mentor of your entire career. It's a choice that will echo for years and years. So the question is, are you ready to choose wisely?